Imagine a silken carpet rolling open in the dusk of Alexandria's palace, and Cleopatra emerging, bold, defiant, ready to reclaim her throne. The year is 48 BC. Cleopatra has just been exiled by her brother Ptolemy III and his advisors. The throne she once shared is now under hostile control. All seems lost, but Cleopatra plans to return, not by force of armies but by daring and cunning. On a moonlit night, she boards a small royal barge on the Nile, cloaked and mysterious. The boat glides quietly past the walls of the city. Her loyal servants carry her, wrapped in rugs and hidden from watchful eyes. When she reaches the palace docks, the guards expect a dignified procession, not a clandestine infiltration. As they carry the rugs into the palace, the guards unroll them, expecting valuables or gifts. Instead, Cleopatra rises from within, alive, defiant, stunning. Shock ripples through the court. Who dares this audacity? Inside, she confronts her brother's ministers. Their faces blanch, their plans unravel. Cleopatra, in her first dramatic comeback, asserts her authority by sheer nerve. She negotiates with Caesar's envoy, who is in Egypt because of Roman political strife, securing Roman support. The exiled queen returns to power, not by overwhelming force but by theatrical boldness and political acumen. In the coming weeks, the struggle intensifies. Battles in Alexandria, shifting alliances and tragic deaths. But that night of re-entry becomes legendary. She did not storm the gates, she became the gate. You think you know extravagance. But in the grand court of Cleopatra, a single pearl could decide the outcome of a wager and define her legend. It is 34 BC, and tensions are high between Cleopatra and Mark Antony. To display her wealth, influence, and cunning, Cleopatra invites Antony and a Roman envoy to a banquet. The guests expect gold, exotic dishes, dazzling spectacle. But Cleopatra has a secret move. After the sumptuous courses, she dips into her earring and removes a single massive pearl, worth more than entire fleets. In front of stunned Roman dignitaries, she drops that pearl into a goblet of vinegar. Within seconds, the pearl dissolves. She then drinks the mixture, casually declaring that she has won the wager of who could throw the more costly feast. The Roman envoy, Lucius Plancus, is forced to concede defeat, amazed by her audacity. It is not mere decadence. This act broadcasts power, wealth, and intelligence. She shows her empire's resources are limitless, and she is not afraid to humble Rome with theatrics. That single moment becomes the stuff of legend, painted in canvases centuries later, but originating in Cleopatra's bold mind. In the hush of Cleopatra's chambers, condemned prisoners whisper last prayers, while she observes, calculating which poison is the swiftest, the fairest. This is the queen's secret laboratory. It is rumored that Cleopatra, ever curious about life and death, conducted poison experiments inside her palace. She allegedly tested various venoms and toxins on condemned prisoners, criminals sentenced anyway, to determine which could kill quickly, painlessly, or decisively. The ancient writers, especially Plutarch, mention these experiments. In one scene, Cleopatra reclines on a luxurious couch. Servants bring in 2 prisoners shackled, trembling. In front of her, flasks of color-stained liquids, vials, and small snakes lie ready. She commands the administration of measured doses. The prisoners writhe. She watches expressions, timings, patterns. Every twitch, every shudder she records. Her court physicians and scribes note timings, sudden drops in breathing, convulsions. Why? To choose a method she might one day use? Investigate mercy or escape? Suicide or assassination? It is said she desired a death both dignified and beyond Roman humiliation. When the time came, the poison she selected may have been informed by these trials. This macabre secret underlines how Cleopatra blended science, ruthlessness, and drama. A queen not only of politics but of life and death. Imagine hundreds of warships under a gray dawn, oars cutting through sea spray, Cleopatra watching as her fate and Antony's hang on the wind and tide. The year is 31 BC, on the Ionian Sea near Actium. Octavian's forces close in. Mark Antony and Cleopatra's fleet braces for battle. On deck, Cleopatra watches the horizon, tension written across her face. Her children stand nearby, worried eyes seeking comfort. The sea erupts in chaos, ramming ships, flaming arrows, cries, smoke. Antony's flagship fights valiantly. But at a crucial moment, Cleopatra orders a retreat. Her personal ship flees toward safety. Rumors swirl. Did she defect, abandon Antony, or was it part of a desperate plan? Antony, seeing her go, hesitates. The tide turns, Octavian wins decisively. In the aftermath, Antony sinks into despair. He follows her to Egypt. Cleopatra's choice when and how to withdraw shapes the end. Some argue she abandoned the battle to save her realm and her own life. Others accuse betrayal. Either way, the Battle of Actium becomes the turning point. The fall of Antony, the fall of Egypt. She clasped the robe of her loyal servant. A serpent glides into a concealed basket. Cleopatra's last act would be as theatrical as her life, ending in myth and mystery. The year is 30 BC. Octavian has conquered Egypt, Mark Antony is dead. Cleopatra is besieged in her mausoleum palace in Alexandria. Negotiations failing, she understands the Romans will humiliate her, parade her in Rome, a fate worse than death. Inside her quarters, she retreats with her most trusted maidservants. She fashions a basket of figs or flowers, accounts differ. Hidden within is a venomous asp, a cobra. She drapes the basket near her. She writes a final letter to Octavian. Do not drag her corpse through the streets, allow modest burial honors. As her servants hold her, the snake bites her arm or breast. She says to them, wait till I die, then seal the door so no one can weep shame outside. She succumbs. Some accounts say she kicked the maid or arranged her hair for death. Entirely theatrical, entirely royal. The exact method remains debated, snakebite or other poison. But the imagery persists. Her death marks the end of the Ptolemaic dynasty, the annexation of Egypt by Rome. Yet Cleopatra dies on her own terms, dramatic, mysterious, regal. The asp becomes immortal in art and legend.